All right, y'all. Welcome to Pause, Please, where we're talking all things midlife, menopause, and the mundane.
Amen.
Amen. Amen to Pause, Please. And if you want to drop us a line, hit us up on Instagram. We're at Pause, Please, PAUSE, PLEAS 3, the number three. And this week, the three amigas are back.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Hi, Rachel. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Sheila and I last week had a little accountability check-in based on our talks, our several conversations, several episodes about decluttering and what that means to us. And the three of us had agreed to start a new year, 2026, declutter, I don't know, project, fun, something. So Sheila and I checked in. We did not get very far in our
But we
decluttering
started,
accomplishment,
right?
but we both started. And Sheila, I believe yours was yours the kitchen or the bedroom? Your next step was to tackle your bedroom. So how did that go?
That's right. So originally my plan was to tackle the bedroom. It didn't work out so well. So we had a kind of a reshift here. And I ended up taking care of the kitchen and living room space. I had mentioned to Dana that that's really where our trouble begins. So in the week since we've met with one another, I've actually had some success.
Yay! Round of applause for Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Miss Dana, your space was your desk. How did that
It
go?
was. Yes. It went well. I think either that afternoon or maybe the next day, I just did a full sweep. I gave everything a home. Sometimes the home was in the trash or the shred bin, which is totally appropriate, I think. And that was good. I feel a lot better. I have a space for my computer. I have a space to take my notes every day. So I feel good about that. We'd also talked a little bit about my kitchen as well. A few things that I had come across in some Instagram posts and some blogs were about resetting your kitchen every night, which is something I do not do. And the more I thought about it, I thought, my mom does that, and my sister does that, and I have other friends who do that. And I just wake up in the morning and then I get grumpy because I come into the kitchen and there's, somebody left their trash on the counter or their empty water bottle or a half drunk cup. And it just, I don't know, I didn't like it. That really resonated with me. So I personally am trying to do better. And shockingly, I shared that with my family. Like, let's try to put everything in the dishwasher at the end of the night. And it's going well,
All
generally
right.
speaking. I can tell that they are trying. There have been one or two little mishaps, but I'll give everybody some grace for a little bit before I have a meltdown. But that is really helping me. It really is nice to walk in to a clean kitchen for me at when I come home from work or when I get up in the morning and then I don't feel like, oh, I need to take 10 minutes and turn the dishwasher on or put this stuff away or take the trash out. I just kind of do my morning routine and it feels less chaotic to me in the morning. So that's great.
Doesn't it? I feel similarly because we'll do a reset the night before. And so when we get up in the morning, or I'm usually the first one up, and I turn the
Mm-hmm.
lights on in the kitchen and there aren't any
Right.
dishes in the sink. The
I
light is
know.
on, showing that the dishwasher is done. And so the next phase continues, but it feels good.
It does. And Rachel, that kind of came off from last week. We sort of morphed into something else about what's a realistic version in this phase of our life of our home, right? Does it need to be picture, I would say from a catalog. I guess that means I'm old. A picture off of Instagram, something that's perfect and all the countertops are clean and everything's in its space. Or I live in my home and you guys are
Mhm.
my friends and I live in my home. But I don't want people, I just want people to feel comfortable. I also think that like I notice clutter when I go to people's houses and I notice it in my own house. So that's kind of, I keep a clean house, but it's a little cluttered. So I'm trying to focus on the clutter. I mean, if it's something important, it's not clutter. But if it's three empty half drunk water bottles on my counter, I think that we could maybe do better in my house. These are some of the things. Any thoughts on that?
No, I love it. I love it. I love everything that you guys have done. My success, however, I was supposed to do my kitchen counters. That did not happen. However, I did kind of
What
do
does that mean? Like
so I had it.
organizing them
Yeah, I had an
or
idea of what I wanted. There's still 3 water bottles on my counter that I want in a place. And I
oh,
know that that means 3 something have to come out of the cupboard so that I can make
what a
room for them.
girl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. Are they your water bottles?
2 are and the other is not. So, and I guess in reality, there would actually be 4 because 1 just gets taken every day. So I can understand why that one's on the counter, but the other 2 are mine and they're shaker bottles. So I just, yeah, I'm guilty. Of course, going on a trip right after Christmas, I would wait a week if I ever have to recommend it to anybody else because it was just a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
chaos,
Yeah.
holidays and then boom, 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 boom. And it was like, okay, time to go.
Right.
And then you come back and you're like, I don't want to mess with this. I don't want to look at anything.
Yeah. Right.
I,
I don't want you to feel like bad about yourself because
oh,
you didn't get
no.
that done. Something else Sheila and I talked about, I think is important as we evolve in this podcast is we're just trying to be real. I mean, of the 3 of us, I feel like I probably am the most oversharer. So to our listeners, I apologize. I just hope that like this resonates with people. Like you said,
Mhm.
you're out of town and you come back home or you're home and then you go on vacation. That's to me is real life. We are all there. All there. There's one place where things just get dumped. It sounds like for us it's the kitchen. Mine's like this corner of the kitchen counter and that's just life. We're not here to make you feel terrible. So I
Oh,
hope you
no,
don't.
I don't because I actually did come into the room and I did spend some time in my dresser drawers and because I'd gotten some PJs for Christmas. So I was making room for that. So, something new and something owed out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Good girl.
that led to let's look at this other drawer. And I just started just dumping, just pulling and pulling. And now I have my pile
Oh my
of
gosh, call me next time. I want to come and do that. That's my favorite part. Like just check it.
well, the pile is, I guess we go back to that conversation we had a couple weeks ago. It's a maybe pile. I still need to go back through it because some of them are like souvenir shirts. A Planet Hollywood shirt in there. I'm like, they're not even open anymore. I might want to hold on to that, but
Does it fit?
yeah, and I'm kind of iffy. Like I'm
I
on
don't
that fence.
know.
I don't wear it. I don't even look at it. I
Hey,
forgot it
Rachel,
was in
call
the
Dana next
drawer.
time.
I'll help you.
Yes.
Yeah, right
But
now
Yeah.
it's in a pile.
but
It's
that's good.
to be donated sometime here in the next week or so. But yeah, that's exactly where that stuff is. So I did do some sorting through the room itself, just because mine Sheila was kind of the same thing from the holidays. If it wasn't in the living room, it came in here, and so all
Mm-hmm.
of that got cleared out. My front room, like the front half of that room, is cleared out. So
Mm-hmm.
it is nice that I can go in and I have the space and I can actually see my floor. I just know I have more to do. And so it's
Yeah,
just little by
we all
little.
do.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
it will get done because I've told myself I have to get this done. I'm tired of looking at this mess. I'm to that point where I'm like, why? Why do I
It
have this?
it's really
I
hard. It's really hard.
yeah.
So I might have had a small success in being a little bit more diligent about 2 of those spaces that I mentioned earlier. But when I walk into my bedroom, there's still that mess that I'm trying to fight with. But we just have to shift our mindset a little bit, be patient with ourselves, and give ourselves some grace. So I think starting is just so hard. And that was one of the things that we talked about last week as well. Good on you,
Yeah.
Rachel, and
Yeah.
good on all of us for just beginning.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of stuff, and I mentioned this before. I think it's because as I have evolved, as we have matured in our marriage and our family, things happen. And you start out, like I remember, we started out with his and her stuff, and everything is mismatched, and you don't have a lot of money, and then you do. And like, there's some things I wanted, but I went through this phase where this is so silly, you guys, but I wanted all stemless wine glasses. So I went and bought a set of all these stemless wine glasses. I don't ever use them. Like I have like I have too many wine glasses. It's a thing. My mom does the same thing. It's genetic with dishes. I don't know what happens to us, but they multiply like rabbits and we have to have a ton of them. So for me in this process, I can't say that I've been like tackling one thing from start to finish. I sort of roam through my house. And if I open up the cupboard and I'm like, oh, today's your day, glasses, here we go. And then I just start pulling them all out. The funny thing is, I thought I was doing a good thing. There's 12 wine glasses sitting in this box on my kitchen table. And my husband comes through, and what I think I hear is, why are you getting rid of those? We should keep them. We don't need to get rid of things. That's what I think I hear. But what he says, it was just his tone, right? He said, what are those? Why are you getting rid of those? Just kind of questioning me like if, are you sure you want to do that or not? And I, of course, said, well, good news. I have two other sets of wine glasses, so I think I'm gonna be okay. He was like, okay, fine, we're good. So I kind of have like almost every room kind of has a little blurb of stuff. And the thing is, the last 2 weekends I've meant to take it to the Goodwill. I've gone out every time I leave, I forget it. Like it's not intentional. I just keep forgetting. In my efforts to declutter, I'm sort of creating more clutter right now because I can't seem to get my pile of clutter out of my house, but I've at least moved it from one place to the go pile. I just can't get the go pile out of my house.
You know what I've done in the past is those boxes that are getting ready to go, I will put them in front of the
Yeah.
door so that when I open the door, that box is there. I'm like, oh,
I think that's what
that's
I have
why.
to do. I just have to get it there. That's crazy. So, with all of this talk and real life happening, we had time off at Christmas, we had children home, we had vacations, we went back to work, all of this stuff. Have have our perspectives changed a little bit, or is this something that we feel like, yeah, I don't know, has kind of changed like your perspective on life? Like I do feel like I have too much. There's so many people who don't have anything, and I'm like, why do we have all of these? Why do I have three sets of wine glasses? That just doesn't make any sense. So I kind of find myself doing a lot of self-talk and trying to kind of reevaluate and just give a positive perspective on how, if I have so much, what I can do to give that to somebody else. And then do you think that is this something that we're just doing and do you guys think it will fizzle out or is it something you want to keep going? Should we have check-ins? Should we keep each other accountable? What do you think?
So going on my trip, we did visit so we went to Progreso, Mexico. And it puts back into perspective exactly what you just said. I have too much. And, here's a community who doesn't have much at all. And we walk into one of the shops and it just reminds me of, a dollar store, right? I'm looking at the prices of everything and I'm just like, and people are just in there just shopping. That's where they go to pick up their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a quote unquote grocery area of, I mean, it's just walls and walls of, I mean, little bitty shops all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And you do put yourself back into perspective of like, oh my gosh, 25 years ago, we were kind of in that situation. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have much. We have taken, I think, for granted everything that we've had in the past 25 plus years and have grown from it. And I came back and I was like, that, and I think it really hit me. I was like, I have a lot of junk. I have a lot of stuff that I don't need, or,
Right.
how did we do it back then?
Right.
And the appreciation, how did we get here? And I think it's exactly what you said a few weeks ago is I think I was to the point where I was like, oh my God, I think I can get this because I can get it. But do I actually
Mm-hmm.
need it? Well,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm looking around and I'm going, I didn't really need that. And the whole
Mm-hmm.
time, even when we were like gift shopping for the kids and everything, I'm like, I don't need anything. And I did it. I
Mm-hmm.
came back with like an ornament. That was it. That was my
Hmm.
souvenir.
Cool.
That was it. I didn't get a t-shirt because I'm like, I have a ton of t-shirts. I didn't even wear them all. I didn't even really think about, getting myself anything. And even for the kids, it was like, they don't need much. We got them little things that can sit on their countertops and, they appreciate it.
Do
Okay.
you hear what you just said, Rachel? You
Put it
bought
on your
more clutter.
countertop. No.
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing you. It's that giant
Gotcha.
I
counter.
made sure it was something small. So.
I'm just joking.
But even at that, it was just, it really put me back into perspective of, exactly where we came from that many years ago and where we're at today. The
Mhm.
appreciation of having a clean bathroom, the appreciation of
Mhm.
having running water. I,
Right.
I I mean, air conditioned. That there was, I mean, they have all those things, of course, but it's very limited. And
Mhm.
not that it's a poverty stricken community, but I mean, it's not an upscale place to go to either. So it was nice to, I guess, see that again and maybe slap some sense into me like, hello, do you realize how good you have it? And,
Mhm.
these people have to live like this day in and day out.
Mhm.
And I don't forget that. I understand that people are like that in other countries, but it just really made me appreciate everything that we have, that we've been able to give to our kids, that we've been able to give to
Mhm.
ourselves, but really start looking at things and going, okay, there's a line in the sand and you definitely crossed it. So let's come back, let's pull it back in. Let's pull those reins in and try to come back to, what are really the true necessity items that you need.
Mhm.
So I don't
Sheila, you're
need
always really
500 shirts. So yeah.
Sheila, you've always been really good about talking about minimalism and experiences. And I will say that my little Sheila voice is kind of always there. Sort of like what you were saying, Rachel. You have this luxury, this blessing to go on this trip. And I think you're right. That's your experience. That is imprinted, and inside out when they say a core memory, like that's your core memory. The t-shirt or the knickknack, it's good in the moment, but you created a core memory with your husband at that time. And that's really what your purpose was.
That's definitely been one of my takeaways as we've been doing this. And today I was attempting to clean up in our bedroom, and my husband was with me, and I'm asking him about certain things. And he says, "Why are you so upset? Why are you so mad about this stuff?" And I think it's because it's stealing away from my peace
Mm-hmm.
and this sense of freedom from the chaos. It's stealing away from my peace, my time, because I'm constantly trying to reorganize or reshuffle stuff. So that's what I definitely want to do, is to continue on this track, to be held accountable, to check in, because it feels good. We may not have a clean or organized space every single day. The other week, Dana had mentioned that she was making her bed, but she may have missed a day during the week and it was okay. But all those other days, it just felt good. And I
Yeah.
just want to keep that feeling.
I was thinking about similarly, Sheila, and we touched on this a little bit last week, but I know that it's a catchphrase and it's all over social media about, being in the moment, and to each their own, to each their own. I like that right now. And that's where I'm at. I'm in this, all three of us are in this transition phase as our lives are changing, our marriages are changing, we're getting older. It's just happening. Our children are
No,
growing. I know.
boo.
Our children are growing and maturing and these big real life things are happening and I want to be present and be in the moment and enjoy it. And if that means I want to go out and buy a new couch, then that's what I want to do. Or if that means I want to save that money and go on a vacation, I am really proud of myself and my family and where we've come from and where we are. And I say that because I think about like maybe who I was 15 years ago. And, I had a nice house and all these things, but it was, halfway to being air quote dated. And sometimes that would embarrass me. But me today, I'm like, I would still be in the house and it probably would not have been remodeled. But you know what? It would have almost been paid off had I been there. That's a big deal. And so I think sometimes we just get caught up in the materialism of life
Mm,
and
hmm.
comparing ourselves to other people, whether it's, what the outside of your house looks like or the inside or the car, all this stuff. And I don't care. I want to, have really good relationships. I want to have a good relationship with my husband and my friends and my family. And I don't particularly care what kind of house you live in. I don't. I would love to help you in whatever you wanted, whether you need somebody to come paint or house sit your house for you when you're gone, or watch your dog, Sheila, or dogs,
Hmm.
Rachel. Those things just don't, I think they might have mattered to me when I was a bit younger, but they don't matter to me anymore. It's my time and my relationship with people. So if I'm at your house and there's laundry on your floor, I don't care. I might even fold it for you. That's kind of where I'm at, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like that too. And I will do the
I don't care.
same. Yes, I want to step back and have those moments, as Rachel mentioned, to reconsider the things that we have in our life and
Hmm.
give some perspective to what others in the world may or may not have and understand what's truly important in our space.
I resonate with everything you just said. And I think it's that turning point in our lives where we've hit that milestone and we're like, I don't care. I don't care.
Hmm.
I used to really be bad about the comparison of where I lived and how I came up and what other people had. And then I start to look at myself and I'm like, think about where you were and where you're at today and how
Hmm.
much of a big leap that was to I think part of it is too because I still go to my dad's house. That's my childhood home. I can see where I came from and I know where I've been and the things we had to do to get where we're at today. We worked our butts off and we put ourselves through school and we did what we had to do in order to make sure that when our family started, the kids were taken care of. And, we did have the luxury of private education versus public. And there was nothing wrong with that. And the
Hmm.
experiences that you had on both sides of it, because we did both, things were just a privilege. I always thank God that I was able to do that. And I'm still able to do stuff like that. But I'm to the point where I'm just like, I think I'm done with just stuff and people being dumb and somewhere in there you always hear the little old ladies who just they don't care, they'll just tell you how it is
Yeah.
and I think I'm just approaching that and it's perfectly fine because if you want to compare yourself to me or me having to compare to you, that's just to me it's so juvenile and I've got better things to do and worry about
Hmm.
than stuff and being materialistic like that. And
Yeah.
this is why I love our friendships and what we are because we could care less.
Yeah.
I
No.
really truly believe that, we don't compare ourselves to each other. We know what we have, and okay, great. We don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, what are they going to say about that? Or, oh my
Right.
gosh, the house is a mess. Care less.
Right.
They're
Or
going
I
to
don't
come
have
in
a
and
name
help me.
brand couch, right? I don't
Yeah.
have a name brand
Hmm.
couch or a big enough TV or
Hmm.
enough bedrooms.
Yeah.
I will come crash at either one of your houses at any time, and you are more than welcome here.
Oh,
I don't know how
ditto.
that makes you feel, but I'm just telling you.
Mhm. Yeah, no, ditto. Like it's a blessing to have those things and to have
Yeah.
extra, but it's also a blessing to recognize what is enough for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's different for all of us.
Hmm.
And I embrace that with these friendships and my other friendships and my family and friends. But I would also like to continue to check in. Feel free to share if you have a win, as we like to say in the corporate world, right? You have a big win, like one day you just go through your whole closet or your pantry or your mismatched Tupperware. I don't know. Or like me, Rachel, you missed. Were you here? I don't think you were. When I went through my bathroom and all my hair bands,
Oh,
apparently,
yeah.
I have like a million hair bands. Go figure. Feel free to share. I'm sure Sheila has a lot of hair bands too.
That's right. You know
Sheila
what?
has very short hair, people.
I have a lot of pads and even tampons in my purse. I have not had my period in over 10 years. Why do I have tampons in my
Or-
purse, people?
Because you have daughters.
And you
You're
have
the
friends who are
mom.
still
You're the
going through
Sherpa.
it, so you're there for us. Thanks.
But again, let's simplify life and my purse.
At a girl. I think that is a great place to say, pause, please.
Pause, please.